Good morning, everyone. I know it's been a little while since we've updated the progress or the state of the game, where we're at, what's going on. It's not a case of we've been quiet for any other reason other than we've been quite busy. So there's been a lot of changes, a lot of things added. So let's just get into it, really. Today's going to be likely to be quite a long video because there's a lot to cover. So let's get into it and let's get things rolling, really. So the first thing I wanted to cover is that we've added a lot of dynamic elements to the game. So dynamic lighting, day and night. As you can see, it's nighttime here before we click play. And then dynamic weather. So the dynamic lighting weather system is based on real world time and date. So as an example, if you're playing the game in the summer, then you're likely to get clear skies, sunny weather. If you're playing the game in the winter, then you're more likely to get rain, thunderstorms, snow, hail, etc. And the day and night cycles, they all work again dynamically in the game. So it gets day to night. It also changes the weather cycle randomly. So the only way to explain or show really will be to hit play and swimming to the game, which we didn't have previously. So this is all functioning now currently. If we just get above the water here, one moment. Okay, so you can see it's around, I think it's 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning game time currently. So as you can see, the moon is going down, and if we switch sides, we will shortly see the sun rise as we hit shore. Yeah, there we go. So that all works automatically. There's no change of settings or anything for that. We've also added, once we get closer to the shore, you'll see dynamic footsteps. So depending on the surface that you're walking on, the sound changes. So if you're walking on water, it'll sound like you're walking on water. Grass, dirt, snow, mud, etc. So there we go. One thing that needs to be added is the swimming sounds, but swimming was only implemented like a day ago, so I just wanted to get it fully tested and working first. So I know that I can just go ahead and continue with that. So as you can see, once you come out of the water, it changes to grass, and so on and so forth. We'll hear a little bit more later on once we get into the video, but I just wanted to give you a quick demonstration. So let me just quit out to here a minute, and we can display the weather effects. So there are lots of different elements of the weather. Let me just change this to nighttime a moment, and you can either have it set so that it's dynamic, so that it changes with the game time, or here where I can explain and show the different elements. So at the moment we've got clear skies. As you can see, it's nighttime, so the rain effects and thunderstorms are pretty impressive. So let's just hit play and explain and show that. Okay, so that's rain. You may be able to see, let me just change the time again so you can see a little bit closer. One moment. Okay, so 9 in the morning. Okay, on the ground, you should be able to see that there are puddles being left. So that will happen when it's raining, and the same will happen when it's snowing. So let's just display that also. Snow. There we go. As you can see, snow will fall, snow will land on the ground. And the other cool element is with snow, the longer it snows and the more that it snows, your character will leave trails in the snow as you're walking through it. So let's just... As you can see, we're leaving trails in the snow behind as we're walking through it. And the more it snows, the deeper it will get. The snow will also affect the environment, as you can see, so it covers the mountains as it should in the real world. So that's the snow. There's also other different elements. So, for instance, we could have like a desert environment where we could, yeah, let's try that one. Okay, have a sandstorm as an example, and again, like the snow. And of course, it would affect visibility, the same as fog, and when the weather's overcast, etc. The clouds will change. Let me just show that very quickly. Overcast. So yeah, as you can see, it's just about to start raining, or we've got light rain. We've got various different settings for the weather, as you can see. So again, this is all fully dynamic. This all works in the game live. So that's that. One of the major changes that we've done to the game is the map. So originally, I felt it was way too small. So we've added a 32 by 32 kilometer map, which is 64 square kilometers. So the size of the map is a lot better. We've started to add here um, some props, sort of like distant cities, which are just like backdrops basically. But this city here is a livable city with every building that you can go in, every floor. So all of these levels within each building need to be furnished, and items and floors, rooms, everything added into the buildings, the cars, etc. Are more in with the theme of the game itself. There's a lot of elements being added daily, so I just thought that I'd start building a livable, living, working city in the post-apocalyptic theme. So if we go to see the size of the map itself, we started here. Sorry, very quickly then. And in a very small corner, let's just change the weather again, the sky, so it's a little bit more. No, the weather actually. One moment. It's got clear skies. There we go. So you can see the map better. Yeah. So map basically is a lot bigger. There's areas like mountains that are a lot more realistic, basically looking even up close. Let me just play and there we go. So yeah. All of this area will eventually have roads and little towns and all sorts of different areas, military areas, inner city, everything basically. It's just taking time. So I wanted to make sure that the individual elements of the game were improved and a lot better, which I feel that they are now. So now's the time to start building the actual game and level. So it's more realistic, if that makes sense, you know. So let's start going into the city from here, and we can snap the landscape. The other main difference we've done is we've made some changes and improvements to the UI system. As you can see, there's a different character without, well, obviously with pants, but yeah, now has clothes. But the character itself is modular, fully modular. So if you take off the jeans, not yet. Okay, I'll show that. If I take off the shoes, then as you can see, the shoes are back on. So I can demonstrate that a little bit better as we get into the city itself. There's the dynamic footsteps that I was talking about earlier, coming into play as well. But yeah, so the modular character is a big change to the game, which allows us to add in a number of new items. So as in backpacks, weapons, of course, you know, we've seen them before, but the things like tactical vests, if I just take the backpack off, you can see that better. They move with the character, and you can equip them or unequip them. There's no room moment. Equip them or unequip them as and when you find them, upgrade and get better items. So there's a hat. Let's just change the shirt a moment. Let's change the trousers, and let's get a rifle with some bullets. The other things that we've added or started to implement better is the player building system, which we'll demonstrate shortly, with items that can be placed on the base itself, and that's fully customizable by the player. So one moment, there we go. Okay, so as before, items and what's the word, vehicles in here. Yeah, everything in the world is interactable. We've added a number of consumable items, clothing. Not everyone will spawn items, and these are all what is the words, changeable and customizable. So if we feel that the drop rate of items is too high, we can lower it, or vice versa, we can increase it. So a number of little elements that we've added, like quarantine areas, and just to keep in line with the aesthetics. So we go in, like I was saying earlier, into one of the buildings. Doors are interactable inside the buildings. The character can literally go to every single level in the building. So this is all going to take time to populate the individual rooms and put the items in, but you're free to explore basically wherever and however you want. So, which is how I wanted it to be, and it's coming along that way nicely. It's just taking time, which of course it would. So let's get back out of here, back onto the streets. And yeah, and that's the same for every building. So just randomly run over here. Again, the same thing. You can enter, you can exit, you can go up to each floor. And that'll be the same for the smaller building. So, yeah. Some vehicles are interactable. Each food and drink item will show what it replenishes, as an example. And yeah, so we didn't want it to be that every single car is lootable. This is at random. Some will be, some won't be. So it's the element that you're not going to find items everywhere in an abandoned world anyway. So that's that. So that is the city, which is coming along nicely. So yeah, right, so let me just check my notes quickly. Okay, so if we head over this direction, so that is the tall buildings. We've started to add in, like, as you can see in front, a diner, fuel station. We'll have police stations, hospitals, schools, as you would expect to find in the real world. So yeah. So again, items that are interactable inside containers, like the fridge. Items should, yeah, here, what have we got? A peach. Are interactable, and they spawn on in the world as well. So if I can see, no, there's no more in here. But yeah, it's just like little things, little details, like fans and lights and jukebox and all sorts of things like that, just to make it as realistic looking as possible, you know. What's here? This is like a supermarket. There's nothing there out there. Yeah, so I think that's all pretty self-explanatory, really. And of course, this is going to have a big impact on day and night as well. So when it does get to night time, we've added a light to the player. So it's a lot more atmospheric, if that makes sense. If I just change the time to night time and hit play. There we go. So it makes it so that it's a little bit more. You need to be a bit more cautious coming into city areas at night. for obvious reasons, especially when the world is populated with the AI, which are just in at the moment for testing, but they will be active when the game is live. So there's that. Okay, let's go back to there. Okay, here, and let's just put the time back to early morning and hit play. Okay, so the other vehicles, fridges and nightstands and wardrobes in houses and things like that are interactable, of course. Sounds will be added over time also. One moment, let's put that there. Let's change them out. I should have saved this before exiting the game, really. Apologies for that. Yeah, so like what's the word? Trees and rocks and things like that are more interactable now, and they have interaction sounds, which I'll demonstrate shortly. Where's that? Do I need anything else? Yes, I need that, and I need that. I also need those in there. Get the weapon and reload. Okay. There we go. We added a sniper rifle, which needs some tweaking, but it does work with bullet effects. The sound can be adjusted as well. The other thing we've done is that we've added the ability to harvest meat from animals. Here we go. Which you can cook on your campfire, if it's in here somewhere. There. Yeah, so that'll we'll get into once we get into base building, so I can show that later on. One moment, let's do that and put the axe over here. Okay. Deer, I've just put in a couple in just as a demonstration. Like I'm legend, no? Okay, so we should shortly get some zombies spawning in. We've tweaked the AI of the zombies also, so that, there we go, they are they have better animations. There we go. Here's another one. The zombies are lootable also. So they will drop various items. You can't harvest the zombie, but then would you want to really? Where did he go? There we go. Yeah, so that's that. Let's get into the area here that I want to demonstrate here quickly. So trees. There we go. So some trees you can just collect, as in the smaller trees, for example, which all goes in your inventory. Some you have to use an axe. There we go. So that's trees. There we go. We had it equipped. Okay, rocks. The same thing. And also, where did I put it? It's up there. Okay. Okay. Metal items where you can gather scrap metal. And this all goes into the crafting, which you've got the basic crafting menu, then you've got a crafting bench, which you can craft more advanced items. Once you get the crafting bench, you can craft things like water containers, storage chests, traps. You can upgrade the bases and the buildings from wood to stone to metal, etc. So if I explain and demonstrate this here, maybe not in the city. Okay, let's just run out of the city 1 minute. So that we're actually on grass. There we go. Foundations. There we go. So it's as simple as this, really. There we go. That'll do. So from that we can place stairs to go into your base. From there you can place walls. You can place higher walls, windows. Of course, all of this needs the resources to craft the items. Again, this is just in for a demonstration. There we go, and then a door. There we go, and then the door you can open and close, etc., etc. Inside the base, you can place and craft and place the water containers, which you can drink from. Or if you have a, I don't have one in my inventory at the moment, but if you had a bottle, an empty bottle or a flask for water, then you can fill those containers up inside your base as well. The other thing that we've added is storage chests. There we go. Which you can craft again with resources inside your base. So then you can place and store everything that you have gathered while you're out and about. That needs to change, actually. I made a note of that. Max weight. Okay, on the chest. The other little item that we've added is a animal trap, which you can place on the ground. And after a length of time, that will then, I think I've set this to quite low, we'll see in a minute. That will just basically trap animals and get meat and skin that you can cook in your base. So it's a fully working, fully living environment. It just needs more time, really, just to get it up and running fully. So yeah, that's about it. So the city that I showed you earlier that was on the coast, this is another backdrop of a demolished city, I guess, with broken bridges, etc. As you can see, the buildings are in a pretty bad state, as you would expect. So, but once the game is complete, we will have all of this area with buildings, with vehicles, with everything fully interactable. So yeah, that needs to be looked at also. Let me just take a screenshot. Okay, yeah, that was all. Yeah, so it's work in progress basically. So I hope you like what you see. Any questions, then just pop me a message or just reply in the comments. Thanks for watching.